Hey guys, we're back again with the tips and tricks for how to edit with Endlight Videoleap. In the last one I showed you how to kind of like move the crosshairs of the whole project up, down, left, right. So I want you to get used to that. And then I showed you how to pick a filter via the filter tab at the bottom left, okay? Next, I'm going to show you if you want to color grade. They call it color grading. Usually you would do this on say Adobe or like Photoshop, stuff like that. You're going to go down, you're going to hit adjust, and you're going to hit, now you have all these really cool options, plus a couple new ones, as you can see, your highlight, shadows. They've added, there's also sharpen and structure. Let's just, for example, if we hit sharpen, it really like sharpens the video. Let me zoom in for you so you can see. So watch my face, watch everything. See how it makes it really sharp looking? However, it makes it kind of, I don't know the word right now, but it takes some of the sort of blur away. It just makes it really like crisp and sharp. And as you play it, to some people it looks really good, but it's a little bit too rich. So what you can do is go like 50. And remember, like I said, if you don't want it, if you want it to go back to 0, just hold your finger on the sharpen button or on any of these, and it'll go back to 0. However, I like to have it a little bit sharp looking, a little bit nicer. As you can see, look at the palm tree, or look at the pine tree on the right. You see it changing. Okay. So I'm going to leave it at like 50, just to have some sharpness. It just looks good to me. It's whatever looks good to you ultimately, okay? Next I'm going to hit structure. You can kind of see the screen changing a little bit. It almost distorts it though. It makes it look grainy. So like I said, learn to mess with these. Every video will require different color grading, and it will never be the same for the most part unless you have it down to a science and you record at the same time every day and you know exactly what to what number you want it on, and you'll get used to that too over time. But structure just kind of adds sort of like, well, structure, if you will. Kind of makes it look grainy. I definitely don't like that too much for me, so just for the sake of it, I'm going to do 50. And these two features are new. I never got to use these before, okay? Offset, as you can see, it offsets the color. I usually don't mess with this. This is why once you get good at recording with your camera and the proper ISO, shutter speed, and aperture, you don't have to mess with some of these. Usually you only have to mess with the actual color grades, which is like the highlights, saturation, even sometimes the hue. You can have different hues. You can change the color with the hue here, the clouds. Okay, so you can mess with all these. And you see the temperature. And now we're going to hit hue. We're going to bring that back to 0. I like the way it looks. I'm keeping this nice, simple, and clean for the tutorials. Tint goes, you can also tint it. So whatever color you may like, you can adjust it. Okay, purple goes all the way up to like pinkish purple. You're going to 0 that out again. You're going to go to warmth. You can warm the video up. You can make it, so they call it warm if you go all the way right. And if you go all the way left, they call it cooler. Okay, cooler is a little bit more blue, as you can see here. Neutral is in the middle. And then warmer, if it gets warmer, it gets, well, warmer. It has that warm looking feeling to it, okay? It gets like that orangish glow. But I like the way it is right now. I don't want it too cool, too warm. I think it's just fine with neutral. You go over to vibrance. Vibrance makes it more vibrant. As you can see, watch the clouds and watch the tree on the right. Okay, it makes it more blue, more green, makes, grass pop out. It makes all the colors really pop out of you. So I'm going to 0 this out. So just look at the clouds behind me. Look at my shirt. Look at all the colors. Okay, look at the basketball hoop, the trees in the background. They're dull, okay? Now they're neutral. Now they're vibrant. So let me back out of this. I'm going to move my clip back. I think for the sake of this one, I'm going to keep it vibrant. I'm going to keep it, all the way. Why not? I like it, it makes it pop out more. Next, we're going to go over to saturation. Now you can see it's very saturated. Now you can, take it all the way to 0, and it makes it like gray, kind of like dark and like a black color. Now you can adjust this as you want. Now if you go all the way to the right, that's too much saturation. Like, look, I'm like a tomato. You definitely don't want that much saturation. So learn to play with these tools, okay? Scrub left and right like this. And I'm going to zero that out. I'm going to leave the saturation. I might adjust it a little bit. I'll leave it at like 25 because I want it to kind of pop. Okay. So next, I'm going to go to shadows, and you can bring out shadows, obviously, or you can make it no shadows, but then it ruins kind of the temperature of the video, as you see there. If you want like a darker kind of look, okay, you can definitely do that, but it just looks not normal. I'm going to zero it out because I'm happy with the way it is, okay? Highlights, again, is just another way to kind of, it's like the kind of backlight, or, highlights the entire thing, or like the backlighting, as you can kind of see there. So you can brighten it up a little bit with the highlight, but again, it's already fine because I had the ISO and everything perfectly, to my visible eye. Brightness, obviously you can make the video brighter. Okay, and yes, some of these things do kind of do the same things. You just have to mess around with them, and you'll get good at it over time, I promise. I'm going to zero that out because the brightness is okay. Also, if you go up make sure your brightness on your phone is, either full or, at least half, because as you can see here, it will definitely affect your video. So put your phone brightness on full. I would do that. So that way you can see what the video is really like you can hit that's another thing, hit this square here in the top right above the panel, or above the video, and it turns your video sideways. So, and you can hit the play button. So it's the video is looking really rich right now, okay? Almost maybe a little bit too much. So I'm gonna hit this video, I'm gonna hit stop, hit the video, or the that kind of arrow or cross again, so it brings it back to widescreen in the editing format. And then, I'm going to go back, I'm going to look at what I did, and I think the saturation a little bit too much. Okay, so whatever. I'm going to take it back to 0, okay, because I decided against it, and you might do that. I'm going to go over to contrast now, and contrast, it kind of takes the contrasting colors, or just the overall colors, and it makes them like darker, or you can make it brighter, of course, a little bit brighter. I don't really ever mess with this too much, and that was kind of a bad definition, I apologize. But again, adjust everything till it looks perfect to your eye, okay? So contrast, just another way to kind of mess with the colors, okay? I'm going to zero that out. Last, not least, exposure. I kind of went right to left here. Exposure, again, just another way to just exposes the light and makes it much brighter than you really need or than you don't need. I'm going to zero that out, and that is basically how you color grade, okay? So again, if you record perfectly, you have the right settings already on your camera, as I went over in the last video, your filter sometimes will be the only thing you need. And for a basic shuffle video like this, you won't need much. So a filter will do justice if you have the proper lighting. Okay, on to the next video, guys.